Before we start the video, it's time for the KOG Boy roll call. This is for all the people who are supporting me as a KOG member of the month, and I appreciate ya. So big shout out to Ryan McDonough, Kato Senpai, and Exodia Master for the support. You guys are awesome, just saying. How's it going, guys? RNG Life here, and today we're going over the best cards in the new leaked set, or technically Konami just let it out. They're basically like, hey look what's coming out tomorrow. So we're getting Soul of Resurrection, which is bringing an insane amount of zombie support. I always feel like it's a bit late for Konami. I feel like they could have easily released this around like Halloween. It would have been really nice. Then we would have had the zombie meta, and they would have been doing stuff. So today we're going to be going over the best cards in this set. So let's go ahead and get things started. Alright, first things first, we got Dragonecro, Nethersoul Dragon. Actually, this is my second time recording. You guys are not going to see the first one because it took me way too long. So I'm going to be speeding through this a little bit more instead of having so much filler. But yeah, Dragonecro over here is a pretty cool card. You can use into him with 2 zombie monsters, so he's super easy to make. By the way, you can use Dragon's Mirror, which is also being put into this thing, so it's going to be free from skill. So you can also use that to summon this guy in a zombie deck, which is kind of insane. So you can use that to summon him. He can come out, and he's just a really large boy. One of his things is he cannot destroy your opponent's monsters, but that doesn't matter because when he attacks their monster, you deal damage like normal, and then after the damage calc, whatever damage step, if their monsters are still in the field, which they will always be, unless you chalice this guy or something, their monster becomes 0 attack, and then you get a token on your side of the field with the attack of the monster that they had. So it basically steals your opponent's monster's soul, which is kind of hype. I really like it. Nethersoul Dragon's looking like it could be a really fun card to use in any zombie deck. Next up, we're looking at Shiranui Squire Saga. Now, Shiranuis are in this set, and I think Shiranuis are kind of insane. They have quite a bit of power behind them, and I think they might actually become a meta deck. I'm just saying that now because of this card entirely, pretty much. Because Shiranui Squire Saga basically says you can special summon this card once per turn, and only once. So you can't just spam out 3 copies of Squire Saga per turn. Once per turn, you can banish 1 face-up monster you control or in your graveyard, then apply the effects in sequence depending on what was banished. So if you banish a zombie, all your monsters gain a permanent 300 boost in attack, which is nice. If you banish a fire monster, you can destroy 1 spell or trap card on the field. And if you banish a synchro, you can destroy 1 monster on the field. Now, what makes this card really good is the fact that you can literally banish a zombie fire synchro monster, like this card is, or most of the synchros are, by the way. You can banish 1, get all 3 effects, and they also do not target, by the way. So you can literally non-targeting destroy their back row, their monster, and that is pretty hype. I think this card is going to be insane. The stats aren't too high, but don't worry, you're going to be able to destroy whatever you want, and I think that is pretty insane. The only thing that can make this thing better is if it was a once per turn during either player's turn effect, which would just be busted. It would be broken, and this card would have to be stopped in some way. But yeah, Squire Saga looking really nice. Next up, we got Raigeki Break, a card that I'm not... whatever. We're getting Raigeki Break, dude. Discard a card, target a card on the field, destroy it. Okay. Simple and clean, I guess. It makes it really easy. I think it's kind of old. I mean, if we got this a while back, it would have been insane. It would have been like tier 0. Would have been busted. But right now, it's just like, oh, okay. Cool, I guess. Whatever, dude. Traps are a bit slow, but fair enough. Whatever. Raigeki Break is coming. Cool. A bit underwhelming compared to the other 2 URs. But now let's move on to the SRs. First of all, we got Vulcan Devine. This card I think is pretty awesome. I actually bought this guy in real life. I had it in I think my 6 Sam deck. I'm not 100% sure. But this guy is pretty cool. It's a level 6 synchro monster. Generic. You can run it in any synchro deck. All you really need to know about this guy is when he is summoned on his synchro summon, you can target 1 card you control. I think it's gotta be face up though, and one card that your opponent controls that's also face up, and you can bounce both of them back to the hand. Now, the card that you bounce back from your side of the field cannot be activated. So if you bounce back like a field spell, you can't activate that field spell anymore. So that's a downside. But if you bounce back like a powerful rebirth or something, then you can set it and then you can use it next turn, which I think is pretty hype. I think that could be really, really interesting. So Vulcan the Devine looking pretty cool. I kind of like this card, but there you go, guys. It's like a kind of a more budget Brionic. Shiranui Solitaire is a pretty decent card in Shiranui. I think he can set up a lot of plays. The only thing is, I don't think we have a lot of the cards that we need for this card to do all of its things. Like, we don't have Unizombie or anything, so we can't go for everything. But Shiranui Solitaire basically says you contribute one zombie type monster and special summon a zombie tuner with 0 defense from the deck. Now, that would be cool and all, but if you're going first, you normal summon this guy, tribute himself, bring out a tuner. And I don't really believe we have that many zombie type tuners that can really do much on their own. If we did, then that would be insane, but right now we don't. Like I said, we don't have the Unizombie. But yeah, Shiranui Solitaire, he's alright. He might be way better in the late game than anything, or when you have multiple monsters on the field, because turn 1, he's alright. Next card is really, like, way better, though. It is Shiranui Squire. And Shiranui Squire, basically, on normal summon, can summon a Shiranui Spectral Sword monster from the hand or deck, which is basically a tuner. So you can special summon a level 2 tuner or a level 3 tuner. So you can go for whatever synchro you want that is a level 6 or a 7, which is absolutely amazing, because you can instantly go for your, what was her name? Squire, whatever. Yeah, the other one, the YuGiOh. You can basically go into her with this card. So this card's a definite 3 of Squire is amazing. Red Resonator is another card that I think is really, really awesome. I really like this card. This is literally like the best Resonator card they can give us, because of the fact that it says, when this card is normal summon, you can special summon a level 4 or lower monster from the hand. So on summon, you can get a free synchro, because you're already able to special summon another monster. So that's really, really awesome. And then when this card is special summoned, like you can do with that level 6 Red Dragon Archfiend guy, I don't remember his name, but he's like a big fire Red Dragon Archfiend. He's like a red whatever. You can go into him and you can revive your Red Resonator. When Red Resonator is revived, you get the effect to gain life points equal to the attack of a face-up monster you control, or a monster on the field. So you can basically gain like over 2,000 life points, which is really nice. I think that's pretty cool. So Red Resonator looking pretty awesome. Mystic Tomato is also in the game, and I think this card is pretty hype. Why? Because there's a lot of cheeky things you can do with this. I think technically you can use it to bring out YuGiOh, because I know YuGiOh would do that against us. I just don't know what the benefit is to summon a level like a first form YuGiOh. But yeah, I mean, you can do it though. But yeah, I actually want to use this card for a deck that I was gonna upload yesterday. So now I might just wait on it, and I might just wait and record that with Mystic Tomato, so it can be a lot better. But yeah, Mystic Tomato's awesome, dude. I really like this card. He can special summon any dark monster with 1500 or less attack from the deck, face up attack position, so he can literally summon himself over and over and over again. And then you can summon like a Sangan, which gets you another search, so it doesn't even matter. But yeah, you can do quite a bit of things. I think this card is awesome. Zombie Master is another really, really good card. Since we're getting all the zombie support to begin with, this card is just really, really insane. It says once per turn, you can send one monster from your hand to the grave, then target one level 4 or lower zombie monster in either player's grave and special summon that target. Now, I believe, I don't think I've used Zombie Master outside the TCG, and you know in the TCG people lie about effects and whatever just to get their plays going. But I don't know, I think you do have to have a monster in your grave to be able to use his effect to discard and whatever. If you can actually use this guy with no cards in the grave, you just discard and revive that card, then he is absolutely busted and he's amazing, because you're pretty much able to special summon any zombie monster in your hand. But if you do have to have a monster in the grave, then at least there's a little bit of a stopgap to make this guy not as busted, so you can't just turn one Zombie Master. But let me know how that works in the comments below, because I've only used it in the TCG, and I don't think it works that way, but I did have friends who would just summon it and go, oh, Zombie Master could do this, and I'm like, I don't know if that's true. But whatever. But yeah, he's pretty cool. Get a free monster out, and that's awesome. I really, really like it. He's pretty good. Next up, we got Jester Confit over here. Jester Confit is another really interesting card. He feels like a spirit monster, but you can basically special summon this boy from the hand in face-up attack position. If you do that, not normal summon by the way, he returns to the hand, and one face-up monster your opponent controls also goes to the hand. It's pretty nice. But yeah, so he does have that ability. He also is like, well, you can only special summon one of these guys, or you can only have one of these guys. You can't normal summon, then special summon one of these. So yeah, but what I mainly am going to use this guy for, to be honest, is you can just special summon a free monster and then tribute it away. Because I want to play some Monarchs, dude. I've actually been looking to make Erebus a little bit better, and this guy might actually be pretty good in that deck. So, pretty cool. Also, he does have that extra effect where if your opponent has a really annoying monster on the board, you can bounce this guy back, and then your opponent has to bounce their monster back as well. So, I think that's pretty cool, and I really like that. Also, I don't think he targets. I think he makes your opponent just bounce the thing back. This is a card that I'm actually super hyped about. We got Assault Mode 0, by the way. Hey, look, what a coincidence. Support for a structure deck that just dropped. So if you guys picked up the new Assault Mode, or Assault Mode structure deck, you have the Assault Mode Trap, which is pretty cool. I mean, you also might have a few copies of your Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode, and that's pretty decent. But this card is just really good. Before, if you're playing any Assault Mode deck and you're playing with the Trap only, it is absolutely terrible to have the Assault Mode monster in your hand. That is never a thing you want. Once you have them in your hand, you're like, oh great, a dead card. Now I can't use Assault Modes or whatever because I have them all in my hand. This card, though, basically is a quick play, by the way. So you can use it at whatever speed you want, on your opponent's turn, on your turn, whatever. So you can use this card. You can tribute your synchro monster with the name of the one in your hand. So, and then you can summon the appropriate synchro Assault Mode from your hand. So it's pretty awesome because you get a free monster out. Now it's not a dead card in your hand. And also on top of that, it has another effect. It says during your main phase, you can banish this card from the grave and set one Assault Mode activate directly from the deck. And it can be activated that turn, by the way. You literally set a trap card from the deck and you're able to immediately activate it, which I think is kind of insane. So if your first Assault Mode monster dies, this gives you another chance to like go for another Assault Mode. So this is actually going to open up opportunities for Assault Mode decks, which I think is going to be pretty awesome. So Assault Mode 0 is a card I'm really looking forward to. Book of Life is in the game now, and this card is pretty simple. It's basically a Monster Reborn for zombies. So zombies are getting a lot of crazy support, not even gonna lie, dude. So if zombies, there really is no downside to them losing their big boss monsters or anything. If they lose their big whatever synchro boss monster, you can just Book of Life that boy or girl back onto the field, and they can just keep bodying your opponent. So I think Book of Life can be really good. The only thing that would make it better would be if it was a quick play. But yeah, it's still a free Monster Reborn. Also, it banishes a card from your opponent's grave because you have to target one of yours and your opponent's, I think. So that might be the only downside is I think if your opponent doesn't have a card in their grave, I think you might not be able to activate this. Kiteroid, Bacon Saver, get out of here, dude. Dragon's Mirror, like I said, is in the game now, and I think that's pretty awesome. You can use it to summon your Dragonecro, which is awesome. He's a pretty cool card. And yeah, I mean, you can do that. It also does let you banish things from the grave. So that's also pretty cool to be able to do things, to summon a dragon monster. So yeah, fusion summon a dragon type fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials from the hand for the field or grave. Sometimes poly could be better if you just have a whole bunch of stuff in your hand, so you don't have to summon them onto the field. But if you're playing, I don't know, some dragon decks really like putting stuff in the grave. So I don't know, man, but I think it's pretty awesome that we have Dragon's Mirror now. Well, I think that's pretty much it. That's all the SRs that we have. Aside from these guys, we got like a bunch of rares and stuff, like the Shiranui boss monsters and whatever, which I'm not going to go over all of them, but I think this guy's just a big beater boy, so you can make this guy just really huge. There's a whole bunch of really good cards. Any special mentions I have, let's go ahead and special mentions. I like Ascension Sky Dragon because it's our first generic level 10 synchro. So hey, Konami did it. They gave us a level 10 synchro that doesn't have to be specific to any archetype. I think this card is pretty cool. I think it's basically just a stall card, to be honest, so I like it. It has 800 attack for each card that you have in your hand at the time, so That's pretty cool, and but it's got 3,000 defense at least, so you can sit on this boy and just stall. If they do destroy him, you bring back the tuners though, so you can bring back the tuners on the field, and at least you can go for some other play next turn potentially. But I think this guy is still pretty cool. I really like Ascension Sky Dragon. Any more cards we are going to talk about? Actually, the next one, Underworld Arachnid, is another card I'm really hyped for. I think this card is insane. If you guys don't know what this card does, it needs a dark tuner and an insect non-tuner, which is very, very conditional, like super hard to summon unless you use King's Consonants, and you just summon it easy because it's level 6 and you can be made pretty simply. It says if this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate spells and traps until the end of the damage step. So it's basically Armadis. Also, it says once per turn, you can select one face-up monster your opponent controls, equip it to this card, and if this thing would be destroyed by battle, you destroy that card instead, with the limit being that you can only have one equipped. But I know for a fact there's a lot of things you can do, like what is it, double cyclone, whatever that card is. There's a lot of things where you can destroy your own monster, your own back row, whatever, to destroy their things. And yeah, I think this card is really, really good for that. I think that could be really insane. I really want to make a deck for this. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. We're getting a whole bunch of assault mode cards, by the way, so that's going to be interesting as well. I don't know. I've never played these in general, so I think that should be pretty interesting. I think we're getting that one and another one, I think Hyper Psychic as well. I don't know, man. I think we're gonna get a whole bunch of assault mode stuff, which is going to be pretty cool. We have quite a bit of support, quite a few reprints. I think Assault Revival is going to be insane, by the way, and I really want to try that out, but whatever. Let me know what you guys are most excited for. We're getting a lot of really interesting support in this mini box. By the way, it's a mini box, so you can probably get the cards you want. We're getting a bunch of assault support and whatnot. But let me know what you guys are more excited for from this set, because I need that info so we can cover it on stream. By the way, I'm going to be streaming tomorrow when this box drops. But whatever, that's pretty much that. And if you guys enjoyed, go and leave a like, share, and subscribe for more dueling shenanigans. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today. Have a great day, and see you.